Hello and welcome back to another video. It's a new week. Hopefully you had a beautiful weekend, enjoyed yourself. So we are back on Monday. Today is Monday. I had a normal weekend, nothing special. I tried to take some time out for myself, even though my husband had to work on Friday and on Saturday, so he was only home yesterday. But I tried to take, time out for myself to watch, documentaries. I love documentaries because I like to see. Oh, that's my alarm. I always set different alarms for different things that I need to do during the day. So this was my 3 o'clock alarm telling me that the children have to go off the tablet, but they are not on it, so it doesn't matter today. But yes, I love watching documentaries because I like to see the people behind the success, who they are, where they started from, where they come from, their adversities, what they had to get over to come to the success side. And not only monetary success, but just success in general, knowing where you started from and where you are now. And I love watching these stories. So this weekend I watched Mary J. Blige. I love me some Mary J. Blige. I don't know her as well because I was very young when she, had her, when she started. So I don't know her early songs as well or that well because I was fairly young and there was no internet at the time. Growing up in the Netherlands, you only hear the hit songs. There was no R&B station where you hear all these songs. You just had top 40, like how you have the Billboard top 100. We had the top 40 over here, and all the most popular songs will air on there. So I always knew about Mary J. Blige. I know my mom had a Mary J. Blige album. I think it's the No More Drama album. She had that one. But it was fascinating to see the documentary. It was my life about that album. And my husband always told me about that album because he said it's the best. He loves that album. He always tells me what you have with Monica, that's what he has with Mary J. Blige, because it brought him through some rough times and uncertain times when things, didn't look that bright. And I have that with Monica, with the Still Standing album. That album did so much for me in a time where things were looking not good, and I'm new on this platform, so you don't know me as well. So today I don't want to do a traditional vlog and this is what I'm doing in makeup. I just want to talk to you and let you know who I am a little bit. Of course it takes time to connect and to build a trust and a love for one another, but you have to start somewhere. You have to open up so that other people feel safe to open up as well. So I'm just gonna start, and as the time will progress, I'm gonna give you more of me. And at the time, it was 2009. I was working as a housekeeper or a maid in a hotel. That was my side job, and I was studying law. I was dating someone for years. This person I was dating ever since 2006. And the relationship was really rocky, up and down, and it was my first boyfriend, my first love. So everything is exciting. You don't know who you are yet. You don't know where you're heading, what you're looking for. You don't even know that you have options, that you can choose what you want and what you don't want. You think you have to, you know, roll with times, society, other people's ideas of what love is or what relationships are, how it should look. So I had my ideas in my head about what it should be, and he had his own ideas about what love should be. And that's the thing with relationships or dealing with people. Everybody has their own mind, has their own reference, has their own experiences, has their own or have their own thoughts on how love should be, how relationships should look, how they will conduct themselves in a relationship. So when these two things come together, it probably will clash, and that's normal. It will clash because you think like this, I think like that. But a good relationship will respectfully listen to the other person and trying to work out a way that both parties will be happy, heard, and seen, so that the relationship can flourish. Because that is what it is. It's two people working together. When you have a relationship, or when you have people in the relationship, can be one of them, can be both, that are stubborn and are not willing to let go of certain ideas or thoughts or whatever, it can become that one of them will trying to control the other person, to manipulate the other person to think the way they are thinking, or both will try to manipulate one another. It can be one of those. In my case, it was him trying to manipulate me to think the way he was thinking, or trying to control how I was thinking. And if I didn't do as he said, or if I didn't move the way he wanted me to move, or thought that was right for his girlfriend to move, he will become violent, very much violent. And that's difficult when you're young and you have your pride, you have your ego. I was raised by a single mom, so that means she is strong. She doesn't have time for, she has a low tolerance for things that are going on in her children's lives, because she's so consumed with what is going on in her own life and with work and friends and responsibility. So she really doesn't have anything left in her cup to deal with you and what you're going through. And I knew that, and you know, she also told me that I'm at an age that, you know, a lot of people suffer heartaches, or, you know, bad things happen to people, high blood pressure. So don't bring me any problems, because I don't want to get sick. As an older child, you don't want that responsibility of your mom getting ill because of the choices you made. Also choices that she never allowed you, or that she wanted you to make. She was not somebody who was like, yeah, get yourself a boyfriend because you are 15 or 16 years old. So it's hard, because you're already doing something that she didn't approve of. Now you're in a huge problem, because now you have somebody who is, now you put yourself in a huge problem because somebody is being violent, but you don't have the knowledge nor the experience to deal with these type of crises. So now you have to figure out, how are you going to deal with this crisis? because it's a crisis and you're young, you have no experience. You don't want to share your experience with anyone, because what are they going to do with this information? Is it safe to tell them what you are going through? And even you are confused, so you don't know what to share, because you still love this person, you still want, you know, to be with this person. So if I'm going to tell my friends or other family members, how are they going to react? They are going to tell me I should leave, he's a fool, he's stupid, blah, 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 you're so much better than this. That is what people are going to say, of course, because they love you and they are looking out for you. So this is very difficult. So what are you going to do? Also, it's a learned behavior, because when I was growing up, it was not safe in my upbringing to be yourself, to express yourself, maybe to ask questions because you really didn't understand life. Of course, you're young, you're trying to understand things that are happening to you or happening in the world, but it wasn't safe. My parents got divorced when I was 8 years old. I'm really a daddy's girl. I always hung out with my father. My mother was always busy working, and she was, you know, loving her career, loving what she did. She loved what she did. So that was her main focus. She had a big social network. So she had a lot of friends and families that she also had obligations, you know, weekends, birthdays, christenings, all that stuff. So I was more like a tag along, you know, not in a bad way, but she also, I don't think my mom realized that she had a choice. And I think if she knew that she had a choice, she wouldn't have children. But she did it because that is what you do. You graduate, you get yourself a job, you get yourself a house, get married, get children. But I don't think that is what she really wanted, because my mom started really late having children. She was almost 35, and she, you know, that was not really what she wanted to do. And my dad had, because of his circumstances, coming from Ghana to the Netherlands, he had to start, you know, building himself up. My mom grew up here. She came in when she was 17. So she had a, you know, she was more ahead than my dad. She of course, Suriname is a country that was under the Netherlands. You know, it's a Dutch colony, so she spoke Dutch. Her father came to the Netherlands. He already set everything up for her. She finished her school here. She got her first job when she was 21. And, you know, everything was more smooth for her. My dad came here when he was, I think, 27. And he had no papers, no passport. He didn't know the language. He had no family here. So he really had to start from scratch. So he had more time with me because jobs weren't that certain, you know, and I was his real family. So I really had a good bond with my dad. But when he, you know, when they divorced, it was really like, okay, what's going to happen? Because I don't really know this lady, even though she's my mother. I don't connect with her. I don't know her. And that's why I'm making this video, because I don't want you to look at my videos and think, but I don't know her. I don't know Debi. I don't know who she is. I know she likes makeup. I know she's a traditional wife. I know she has beautiful children. You know, I know she lives in the Netherlands, but who is she? And I want you to know that what you see today has been formed by the things I've been through, how I've been brought up, and that's why I'm here today. That is how I show up in front of you. That's why I make the content I make, because I make it because these were the things that really caught my attention when I was growing up. So I love makeup. I do. I love makeup. I've always loved makeup. I like to cook. I always loved cooking. So these are really things that grabbed my attention. But also relationships is something that really fascinates me, because the first time it went horribly wrong with me. And it's like I said, it's upbringing. I didn't feel safe at home. I wasn't allowed to express my thoughts just because my mom didn't have the patience. She didn't know how to deal with children, with me, with other human beings, and how to raise them. Also, coming into the Netherlands when you were born in Suriname is a totally different system. Even though it was a Dutch colony, it's not the Netherlands. It's different. She didn't grow up here. She didn't go to elementary school here. She didn't go to middelbare school. In English is middle school, high school. She didn't go, you know, she doesn't know that system. She doesn't know how that works here. And my dad didn't know how it worked either, because he didn't grow up here. So she didn't really know what were the things that were very important for us to learn as her children. Also, her mom was 15 when she had her. So my grandmother had my mom when she was 15. So my mom didn't come from a traditional family. My grandfather and my grandmother were never together. My grandfather was already married. He was 20, and this time and day he would have gone to jail. And what I can recollect from my mom, that her grandfather sued my grandfather because you were not allowed to have intimate relations with somebody who was a minor. But some way, somehow, somebody stopped my mother's grandfather for doing so. Otherwise, my grandfather would have went to jail. I know it's a bit confusing, but I hope you can follow. I hope you can follow. So my mother didn't grow up in a traditional family. She doesn't know what it is to have a father that lives in the house, or that you can see the dynamic of a married couple or parents, and that they are parenting together. She doesn't know that. My grandfather was a known person. He was the captain of the national Surinamese soccer team. He was very popular. He was known, even though in that time it was not like soccer nowadays. He was very known person. He traveled, so he wasn't really around. So it's difficult when you grow up and you have feelings of, you know, kind of abandonment, or not being seen or heard, or don't even feel loved. Your parents are divorced, and now you have feelings that somebody is showing interest in you, and you think this person loves me, and you're gonna get married to this person, not knowing that this person is, now that I'm older and more experienced, I know this person is not evil, but he also had a lot of issues, and he couldn't deal with his issues, so he couldn't love me, because his issues were in the way, and his issues were with his mother. His mother and his mother had a bad relationship, and he always wanted approval from his mother, and he never got the approval, and they always had issues, and he was raised with his grandmother, and the approval that he was seeking brought him in so many troubles, you know, with the police and the justice system. So because when he felt like a woman didn't appreciate him in the way he wanted to be appreciated, let me be clear, because I can show my appreciation, but if you want it in another way, my way of appreciating, it doesn't matter to you. it just goes out of the window. So he felt like I was ungrateful when I was not, but the issues he had with his mother probably triggered. And also because I felt like, I told you in a few videos before, he was a criminal. So I'm not gonna, you know, applaud or pat your back for, oh, you did a great job, knowing that it came in an illegal way. And he felt less than me. He felt so insecure because he was like, you are in university, you can find a guy who's gonna be a lawyer and you're gonna be a power couple and all this. He had all these, like I said, ideas. People have ideas. They might not share it with you, but they have ideas, and these ideas can really cause an internal war. And reality and fiction become merged, and that was his problem. He had a totally different idea of me than I was presenting, because he was thinking about, oh, find someone in university. So all these ideas and insecurities really mess with him. And it has nothing to do with me, because he abused women before me and he abused women after me. It is his issues, what he has with his past. So things went horribly wrong. And now I have to deal with crises, knowing that I cannot fall back on anybody. And now I'm not safe in my mother's house, because also there was violence. My mom was very violent. She, like I said, she couldn't tolerate too much, just because life, stress, doing it alone. You don't have parents in the Netherlands, nobody to fall back on, you know, so she was stressed out. My father, he also told me, don't bring any problems for me, because I don't have any money to fix it. That was his excuse, because I don't have the money I want, or he believed that he needs money to fix problems. Now I know you don't. Of course, to have money is a good thing, but if you have money and you don't have ideas, you're not creative, you don't have knowledge, it means nothing. But he just shut the door, and he told me, if you ever have problems, don't come to me with your problems, because I don't have the money to fix it. So now I was maybe at the time 18, you're dealing with problems that most people won't deal with. Somebody is physically attacking you, and the thing is, the person is physically attacking you, but you also, not only is somebody physically attacking you, and of course you have the emotional and the mental and all the things that are coming with it, but you also have feelings for this person. You care for this person, you love this person, you know this person, you share intimate conversations. You know that he's struggling with the things with his mom, other things that happened to him. So the thing is, you have a lot of sympathy and empathy towards this person. You don't judge this person, you know, because you feel, I want to say bad, but you're trying to understand them, and in your understanding, you want to help them and you want the best for them, and within your ability, you're trying to look for answers or solutions to, you know, help them and show them that you love them, that you care for them, that you have patience for them, you know, to grow and to become better and stronger, because you see things in them that they probably don't acknowledge in themselves. But while doing that, you are losing yourself, because all your time and attention and care is going towards them, and they don't see and they don't appreciate what you are doing for them. They don't see it. They only see what they see in their minds. And at one point I was like, this is dangerous, because I can lose my life because I love this person so much that I'm just willingly, yeah, you can say willingly putting up with this, because it's a choice. I don't have to be there. Of course you have fear, of course you are being manipulated and being controlled by mind, but at the end of the day it's a choice, because I believe where there's a will, there's a way. But I couldn't see that yet. I was so into that relationship, that person, trying to figure out how can I help him so that he can be the person that I see, or the person I know that is there. Because you also have up moments, and you see the good things, and you see the potential, but it's being overshadowed by the darkness and the issues. And he couldn't fight it. He couldn't fight it. He was not strong enough to fight his demons. So it wasn't safe. And when things are not safe, and they are not safe for a long time, you are faced with the decision to say, am I going to stay in this, or am I choosing to do something else? Am I going to choose me? And that's where that album from Monica came in, because at the time I was working, like I said, as a maid, and I was working at a hotel. And one day I came in and I didn't feel like going to work. I really didn't feel like it. And then I came in, and in the morning we always had to gather, just like the maid in Manhattan. We gathered in the basement, and we had our little talk about what we were going to do, which floor you have, blah, 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 blah. And this morning they told us, like, oh, today there is a resort, a park, you know, with bungalows, and these need to be cleaned. And that was new for me. I was working there for a long time. I've never been asked to go to a bungalow park or a resort and clean. So I was like, really? And I had to go because I don't have a set floor. I was not, because this was just a side job for me. I was a student. So I didn't have a floor attached to my name, which the people who really worked there, they all had their own floor. So all the people that didn't have their own floor had to go to the resort. And I was like, I really don't want to go. It was a bad week. I was down, and I didn't want to be challenged, because it would be challenging. I didn't know what to do. I knew it was going to be heavy. It's going to be big. It wasn't, you know, my regular room. So I didn't know what time I would be finished with work. And I had a good relationship with my supervisor at the time. He was also Surinamese. He was not older, but he was almost 40, I guess. And I was 18, 19. So, you know, for me, he was way older. And he said, oh, you're running with me today. I was like, I don't want to work with you, because I never worked with him, because he was a supervisor. He was only checking rooms, so it was weird to work with him. But he was like, come, I'm gonna bring you, it's gonna be okay. And then we were in the car, and he put on music, and I recognized the voice of the singer. I was like, I think this is Monica, and I haven't heard her voice. Like I said, Monica's songs didn't really play in the Netherlands, because if it wasn't top 40, you wouldn't hear it. So apart from the song with Brandy, The Boy Is Mine, you don't really, you know, hear her songs like that. So, but I recognized the voice, and I asked him, is this a new album? What is this? I love this song. He was like, oh, I don't know. My wife just downloads songs for me and then, you know, put it on my MP3 and I listen to it. I'm like, okay. So I went home and the song was, that was playing, you're my superhero, ooh, you rock my world, if you should, you know, I don't want to be, you know, copyrighted, but it was Superman. And I just felt something in my body. I was like, wow. Even though I was in a abusive relationship, that song really showed me that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Not to be with him, but there is somebody out there for me. And that really gave me the strength to say, I need to make a plan to leave him. I need to fight for myself. I cannot keep investing in him and I get nothing but bad out of it. So that is when I went home, went on, I think it was uTorrent at the time, or BearShare, some you know, illegal website, and I found the album and I downloaded it, because at the time I didn't know where to buy the album. There was only one store that I knew of, Free Record Shop, and I think they wouldn't sell that album because it wasn't, the songs were not big in the Netherlands. Nobody knew about it. It's like an underground album. If you are a fan, you know, but you know. So I went home and I found Still Standing. That's the album. And all the songs just gave me so much hope. All of these songs, that's my, you know, sometimes you want to say, oh, this is my favorite album, but that album really did it for me, and it really gave me so much strength and just to keep going and keep pushing. And I think that was in 2009, and I finally left him towards October of 2010. So it really did take a while, but I left. And that album was not only for me to be strong, but also to hold on to my good character, because I know I wasn't wrong. My love is not wrong. My love is right. I just need to team up with somebody who can see it, that understands it, that appreciates my love. That was the problem. I didn't have to change my love. No, I had to find somebody that would appreciate love. I think that's very important, because I felt like if I would be bitter, angry, upset with him, he would have won, in my opinion. That was my opinion ever since the day I left him. Of course, you have some anger, some bitterness, because it also was dangerous. He threatened to kill me several times. You know, he pulled a gun on me. But I said to myself, he is not going to win. I'm not gonna give him my good heart, because then he took everything from me. Because he already took so much from me at the time, because when you're young you don't have that much. But you know, you gave him your body, your innocence, because that was my first boyfriend. I gave him so much precious things, and I was like, if I'm gonna give him my heart, then he won, because I knew for a fact that he would move on. He would have more girlfriends, because he was very popular at the time. He was cheating all the time. So I knew he would move on and would forget about me like this. So I was like, I'm not going to give him that. So I really fought hard to keep my heart intact and to keep my dream alive, because I love love. I love relationships. I love being in a relationship with a man. I love to work together. I like to share. I love that concept of marriage and man and woman. So I couldn't destroy that image because I had one bad experience. And that is what I see a lot you know, in the time we are living. And it's, of course, that's the natural thing, that when things are going sour, when you are disappointed, you just feel some type of way and you think everything's all bad and you don't see the good in things. So that is the normal reaction. But the thing is, you should fight to get back what is yours spiritually and emotionally, meaning your dreams, the things you want, should not be tainted by 1 bad or 2 or 5 bad experiences. You should fight hard to, you know, protect that. Because it's your dream. It was my dream to be with somebody and to have a traditional family. I didn't share that dream with people, but I knew that was my dream. I wanted to be married, and if I was going to be married and have kids, I wanted to be in a certain way. I want my kids to come home and I wanted to bake them cookies, and I wanted to be a present mom. I want them to grow up in a loving household where people pay attention, where they are safe, where there is, you know, positive communication, where we really have a bond together, where we, you know, we really love and support one another, and we are really a family, and it's joyous. I didn't have that growing up. It's still not there. There are several, you know, family members that don't talk to one another, including I have a family member which I don't have contact with, which is weird because my mother only has 2 children. So I think it's very painful as parents to see that your children don't get along, and not only your children, that even the children don't get along with their parents. I think that's the most upsetting thing for a parent to experience. And I didn't want that for my family. I don't want that for my family, for, you know, members to not speak to one another. I know it's hard, but protect your heart. Meaning, even though somebody tried to, or somebody mistreated you. So I think that is the worst for parents, to see that your children don't see eye to eye, that even the parents don't see eye to eye. It's disheartening, and I didn't want that for my family. So I'm grateful that I didn't attach myself to that person, because that would happen if I would attach myself with that person, had kids with him. It would have been a mess. So I'm grateful that I chose myself, to protect myself, and to see the goodness in myself, and to say, you deserve more. You deserve somebody that loves you the way you love, basically. You know, you love people, you don't judge them, you welcome them, you treat them right. And even though I was not perfect, nobody is, but I was willing to learn. I was willing to let go of certain ideas and visions, because to be with somebody who is a criminal, that is not normal. That is not something you would normally do, knowing all the challenges you would face. But you do it because you love that person, and then in your mind you tell yourself, I can deal with it. We can work it out. There's a way. If we really want to do this, we can work it out. I can see past that and we can figure it out. But if somebody is not willing to do that for you, that is when the problem comes in. So that album, that Monica album, really helped me to know that love is real, and that there's somebody out there that will love you the way you love. And that is such a hopeful message, because Of course, we have the songs that are telling you that love is amazing and love is oh so powerful and meaningful. I cannot live without you. We know these songs. They are almost like a dream. Then you have the flip side of songs that you ain't ish. Men and women are ish. You know, we know that songs as well. I have these songs, but now you have songs or an album that tells you that things are dark, but that you can also see and acknowledge that there's light at the end of the tunnel. So the subject for me, relationships, is very important because I want to give hope that yes, I have been through abuse. Yes, you might think before you knew this story that, oh, she's such a beautiful, strong woman. You know, people have their own thoughts and ideas about who you see in front of you. But my thing was always, when I looked at the Oprah show when I was younger, grown up, and at the time I didn't even experience abuse in a intimate relationship. I experienced, of course, your mom corrects you, and we say, you know, my mom beat me, and we all say it jokingly, but basically it's abuse. Now that I'm older, I also say that that is abuse. When somebody touches you, whether it be physical or, you know, penetrates you, it's abuse, because I didn't allow you to touch me. I didn't give you permission to touch me, to beat me, to harm me. Once somebody touches you, it's abuse, and you didn't give them permission, it's abuse. I don't care if it's your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, it does not matter. It's abuse. So I understand now, or at least these past few years, that abuse is abuse, and that I have been in abusive situations from a very young age, and that I have learned that it's okay for people to correct me, because it's correction in their eyes, because I don't think the way they want me to think, because I don't move the way they want me to move. So they have the right in their eyes to correct me by physically attacking me and unleashing their anger upon me. Now, it's been decades, now that I know that that is wrong, I understand where I have learned that behavior, and that's why I allowed my ex-boyfriend to correct me, because first of all, I have that in me that I want to be good. I will always want to improve myself. I always want to better myself. That's just something that's in me. I just want to be better. I like to learn. I like to improve. That's me. So I allowed people to lie to me, to tell me, oh, you are doing wrong, so if I correct you, then you will be better. So I always thought, okay, they want to correct me, they love me, so I'm going to be better after this. I'm going to be better. I didn't like the way it felt, and I knew that they were wrong, because in my mind was like, I didn't do nothing wrong. I knew it wasn't right, because I knew I didn't do nothing wrong. I knew that what I was saying or doing wasn't wrong. And I knew in my mind that they misjudged me. But I was like, okay, this is the situation. There's nothing I can do about it. What can I do? I'm a minor at the time. I'm living at my mother's house. I don't want to live at my father's house, even though I was a daddy's girl. I knew how my life would be with my dad, because he wasn't really that, you know, he didn't understand this system. So I was like, I'd rather be with my mom. My friends live here. My dance classes are here. I knew this environment. So I was like, pick and choose. So I'm being all the way distracted. Everybody is coming in and out. Doors are being opened and closed. So I completely forgot what I wanted to say. But now that I'm older, I understand why things happened. I have gained so much knowledge due through that situation, and I would never take that away, because I have made so much better decisions, because I now know how to speak up for myself. I'm not scared to speak up for myself anymore. I'm not scared to speak out loud. I had to learn, because a few years back I was online and I was making videos about women should do this and men should do that, and you know, talking all, you know, it was popular also on internet, and it was not even being popular. It was about, that is how I experience life, and I didn't understand that we as people have a choice. We can choose. It's not, it applies to all men or women. If you don't want to be a traditional wife, then don't be a traditional wife. That doesn't mean your children will be worse or better than somebody who lives a traditional lifestyle, because it has to do with so much more than only being at home with the children. It has to do with, where's your mindset? Are you present? Are you capable? Are you willing to do the work? Do you understand what, you know, what it means? Are you willing to take the time to learn, to spend the time with your family? Do you have good manners? Do you have a good character? Do you respect other people? So I had to learn that I was not emotionally raised to express myself. I only knew violence. So when I started to talk, I just talked for the talking, because I was finally free and I could say whatever I want. And you know how it is with a child, when they start talking, they just want to talk without even, you know, they just talk, but they don't really make sense. And that is how I look back at myself. I was talking a lot, but I didn't, you know, did it in a ladylike manner, with, you know, consideration and respect for other people's values and mindsets. And you know, now that I'm a few years further, I understand that everybody has a choice, and that's what it's all about. Choosing what you want. Who do you want to be? What do you want to be? How do you see your family? How do you want to how do you want to do it, and how do you see the vision for your family? So I had to learn a lot, and I'm still learning. I made a lot of mistakes. It always comes from a good place. It comes from you know, I have a good heart. I don't wish people ill or intentionally want to hurt people. But sometimes you do, sometimes you disappoint people, and I'm glad that I fought so hard for myself, that I'm now in a position that I am safe and that I can express myself without being judged or being punished or being corrected or controlled by, you know, somebody you are in a relationship with. I'm so happy that I chose to be with my husband, and he is also a person that he is also happy to be with me, because he also feels free and he shares all his thoughts with me. And sometimes I'm like, ooh, you know, but these are his thoughts, and he tells me that I feel so free and I can tell you any and everything, where when I'm with maybe, you know, close family members or friends or colleagues, I cannot share my thoughts. I cannot be myself. I cannot express myself, and it feels like I'm suffocating sometimes, because I have to front, you know, to these people. I have to wear a mask and I have to play nice, because they probably wouldn't accept my thoughts, or they wouldn't understand where I come from. So I'm so happy that we have that we love each other so much that we can be free. So yesterday, you know, something happened at home with my children. They were naughty, and I told them, like, you don't understand that this what we have here, this family dynamic, your father and I, we have created this, that you are safe, that you can express yourself and do whatever you want and grow and make mistakes and challenge one another. Know that this is not the standard. This is not how most people grow up. This is not how I grew up. So this is hard work. This what you see here is hard work. Your father and I work hard, meaning we love and we are humans, and sometimes you want to go into ego and into pride, and you know, you want to prove that you are right or that person is wrong, but we have to fight that feeling. I'm fighting it sometimes just to keep the peace, meaning that it's not like I don't want to say what I'm thinking, but sometimes I have to think hard to say it in a loving way. So I go over my thoughts 1,000 times, like, okay, I can say it like this, but it might come across unloving. So if I say it like this, it might be better, because I'm not in the business of hurting my husband, because we love one another. We are building something together. That's my family. So my intention is not to hurt him, and his intention is not to hurt me. But it takes time. It's work. It's strength. You know, I cannot always go into weak mode and think, okay, I'm just going to tell him what I really think and how I think it, and I'm just going to tell it so bluntly. Whereas somebody who doesn't love you or doesn't care for you will tell you, oh, you are this, you are that, you're that. You know, this is what you experience maybe on the internet, that people are very harshly and mean. And nowadays, I don't even see that as a wrong thing. I might not like the way how they say things, but I'm always like, thank you, because you want me to be better. You want me to see me at my best. If you tell me, oh, I don't love that lipstick, I hate it, or oh, she should cut her hair. Thank you. You are right. You want me to look my best. You don't like my haircut because it's unkept. I haven't been to the barbers in 4 weeks. You are right. Thank you, because you are making me better. I can see the love through the bluntness. Whereas a few years ago, I would be so offended and I would be angry and I wanted to fight. And who are you to tell me that? But now, I can see the love. I can see it. I mean, one time I was driving the car and I was bringing my daughter to school, but it was maybe a few years ago. We just moved into this house. I was not really myself yet, and they are always used to me doing my makeup. And that morning I didn't have makeup on. I had my little cap on, and she told me, Mom, you look so ugly without makeup. When you go to school, you should put on makeup. And I could have taken so offensively, but I was like, I understand what she's saying. She's saying, Mommy, you're not your best today. I want you to be your best, and you don't have your makeup on. You don't have your standard look. And she was right. So that's when I started, like, I need to get it together. She's right. I need to look my best. So I can see it through the bluntness now, that it's love. And I'm teaching my children, you know, always, like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all, you know. And that is really how it works. If you don't know how to tell it in a way that it's nice and somebody else can receive it, don't say anything at all. That is also emotional intelligence. Knowing how to say it, knowing when to say it, when is the right time, is this the right time? And sometimes you cannot do that. Sometimes you just have to be cutthroat. I understand, but if there is room for you to say it differently, or it's not that, you know, it's not that eminent, try to go over it, try to think about it, use your discernment before you say it. Don't act upon it immediately. Sometimes you need to think about it. And that is what we do at home, and it really works because it made us successful, meaning our relationship is successful because we are keeping the peace. We are still together. We are over 10 years in. We have a very safe household. Everybody's free. Everybody can share their emotions, their thoughts. We are, you know, even my daughters are like, Mom, I didn't like when you did this. I didn't like when Dad did this. I didn't like when Amalia said this. We are very open with our emotions, and we can express how we feel. And they are very young. I didn't know how to express myself when I was 6. I didn't even know how to do it when I was 20. I just did not know how to. And even if I knew how to do it, it wouldn't be allowed. I would be punished for it because people didn't receive what I was feeling. They didn't care for me. They didn't have the tolerance for it. They're like, I don't care what you're feeling. This is my realm. I'm the one that's, you know, been put in this position. I'm the mom with the 2 children, the single mom with the 2 children, or I am the boyfriend that his mom doesn't love me. So your feelings and your being should be pushed to the side because it's all about me and how I am feeling. So I fought real hard. So it's not about how much money somebody has. It's not about status. It's not about, you know, all these things that are very popular on social media nowadays. It's about feeling safe, being free to be who you are and who you want to be. Because I always wanted to be this, but if I would have been with my first boyfriend, it wouldn't be possible. I wouldn't be possible to stand here to film videos for you. He just wouldn't allow it because he would have seen, oh, she's going to be popular and she's going to be loved by people online. She might make money. She might, you know, he would have think all these things and be like, I'm going to decide, break the camera, and no more filming for you. So it's so important who you work with, who you team up with, who is going to be your spouse, because the wrong person, you wouldn't be the person you would be today. I'm standing here today because I made the right decision. That is why I'm standing here today. There are a lot of women that have their own money and they work and, you know, they have a career, but their husbands or boyfriends even don't allow them to wear makeup. They are not allowed to have a social media account. I hear a lot of people online saying, I don't want my girlfriend to have a social media account. I don't want her to be on Instagram, TikTok, or whatever account. And I'm like, she works. Why are you scared? They just don't want it. My second boyfriend, I only had 2 boyfriends before I met my husband. I didn't really have a social media account, but once I was doing makeup for a living, I was a makeup artist, and I started Facebook because I only posted my work. It was a portfolio for me to get more clients. We broke up over that. That was the last straw for me because I posted pictures of my clients. There may be one picture of myself, and he also had his own imagination. And at one point, he he told me, you have a account on, I don't know what it was. I think it was Tagged. It was some kind of dating app or website. And I was like, what? Tagged? What is that? Yeah, I've seen you and your hair and your phone and you are making selfies. And I was like, this boy is crazy. And then he showed me the pictures. I was like, you can clearly see that this is not me. But the girl was standing like this with her phone, so you couldn't see the face. But I was like, that is not me. And he was convinced that it was me. I couldn't even tell him other ways. And I told him, it's the end. It's over. So he was convinced, and I told him, like, this is the end of the relationship. He was surprised. I was like, why are you surprised? It's over. And it was over, and I never looked back. And that was all because of the first relationship I had. I was like, I know how to stand up for myself. If I feel like this ain't going nowhere, I'm out. And I exited, and I've never looked back. Only because he had his own ideas and his own vision. I have my own job. I was working. I wasn't working as a maid anymore. I was a makeup artist on the side. I had a contract with Nielsen Media Research. I was doing my own thing. I had my car. I was doing my own thing, and he didn't like the way I was moving, because I was moving somewhere else, and he was intimidated by that. So it's very important that you have freedom. It's something I don't really hear a lot online. I hear the 6 figures and high value and all that stuff, but not a lot of people talk about freedom, safety. Those are the most important things in a relationship. To feel safe and to be free, to move how you have to move, because you have ideas, you have a vision, and those require plans. It requires certain steps. And then if somebody doesn't allow you to make certain steps because of their own insecurities or, you know, fears, then you can never become the person who you are supposed to be. And my husband never withheld me. Withheld me from my purpose. If I tell him I want to start a blog, he was like, okay, start yourself a blog. He might tell me like, okay, right now I don't have, you know, the means to invest in it, but maybe you can look on the internet how to start your own WordPress website. When I told him I wanted to film, and that was when we were back, when we weren't even in a relationship, we were dating. I told him I want to make YouTube videos, and he was working as a salesman in an how do you call it, like a electronica shop where they sell cameras and TVs and all this, something like Best Buy, you know. And he figured out for me which cameras were great, which cameras were on sale. He told me I can get it with a discount if you want it. At the time we weren't dating anymore, so I was like, no, don't bother, you know. But he always does the research for me. Even when I'm filming now, he told me, babe, try to use the microphone. Or he would tell me, babe, he saw my last video, like, you look good, you look real good, but that mirror, So he brought me different mirrors. He's like, maybe this is better for you, you know, it just looks more presentable. If you are a lady, you should have a certain mirror. You shouldn't be, you know, doing your makeup in a broken mirror. I'm like, you're right. So he always encourages me to be better, to be my best, to be the person who God intended for me to be. He never withheld me. If I tell him, oh, I'm gonna cut my hair, it's like, okay, cut it. And he would tell me, maybe, you know, you can leave the sides, or maybe you could cut the. He is always trying to think, how can she be her best? Even if I'm cooking, like, it was good, but maybe next time you should try this, or maybe you can do this. So this is really the person I should be with, because he really pushes me into purpose. He is not trying to put roadblocks or make it harder for me. You know, even the camera I'm filming right now, as I'm telling you, as I told you, I'm a traditional wife. So everything I have on, the makeup, the clothes, the equipment, he is buying these things for me, or he at least, I have access to the account, and I told him, babe, I bought a camera, I'm gonna make videos online. He was like, oh, okay. It was 700 euros almost, I think 6 something, but he never told me, how dare you not to buy this. He was like, okay. And it's my responsibility to show him that I appreciate this freedom, and that I use the camera, that I, you know, I'm not gonna buy the camera and not use it and toss it to the side, because he's gonna be like, we could have used that 700 euros for something else. But he sees me filming and he sees the footage and he's like, man, that camera, it looks good. I think I might film myself with that camera. You know, those are the conversations that we are having. He's like, I really appreciate you buying the camera. At first he was like, but now that he sees what I'm doing with it and the footage, how it comes out, he's like, wow, I love it. So it's very important to feel safe and, you know, to feel free so that you can become that person. I mean, he's not gonna watch my footage and be like, how dare you to put this online? But he will also tell me, be careful, because I know you have a good heart and I don't want you to come across weak, you know, so that you become a target and people start attacking you, because that happened in the past. And that's how we ended up making videos together, because people attacked me online. He was like, I have to defend my baby, I have to defend my lady. So he came in, and that is how we started making videos together. So he always tells me, you know, be careful. I know you want to share, I know you want to help other women, but you know, there are also people who are, you know, want to depict you maybe as weak because you have been in an abusive relationship. And he's very careful with that, you know, subject, because he knows people will judge you, because people think you are easy target because you are with somebody who tries to control you. So, but he will not look at my footage and think, oh no. No. And I will not look at his footage and be like, no. He's free. He can share whatever he wants to share on his social media platform. So, and he wants to film with me. And I told him, when we have the time, because of our schedules and he works, we will make a video and, you know, see what our magic is and how we came together and what are the things that really, because we are both very passionate about relationships and, you know, the dynamic between man and woman. It's very interesting for us. We love it and I care for it so much. That's why I always want to put it in, you know, into my vlogs, because it's important that you have, you know, people that love and people that are in love and people who are doing it and people who are, you know, really care about love and marriage and black family and see the importance, because you need to have that representation, you know. You have to have that representation for you also to see that it's real and that it can happen, and that people that are in love, so that if it happened to me, it can happen for you. So I don't want you to give up hope. I don't want you to change who you are. If you love, you love. Sometimes it's just not being acknowledged by the person you are with, and if it becomes dangerous for you, then you should take, you know, measures and look a plan, you know, make a plan to leave and protect your heart and to protect your dreams and your visions like I did. And just know we all have a story and we all have a background. That's why I'm you know, I'm working real hard not to judge people. It's not easy because that is just something we naturally do. We want to judge people and we want to tell people. Ugh. But I know we are flawed, and our parents were flawed, and you know, they didn't give us all the tools. And even if they give you the tools, we don't always use discernment. We don't always, you know, use our intelligence or our emotional intelligence, because things in life happen, and sometimes you just are being influenced and you just do things that make people like think, what is happening to him or her? This is so not him, this is so not her, they are smarter than that. But things happen. So you know, I'm making this video so that you can see that I'm not perfect. There's a reason why I make these videos in the way that I'm making it. I could, in the past, I only chose to make videos about makeup, beauty, lingerie. You know, it was more business oriented. Now I'm just making videos because I want to curate, you know, videos about my family so that I can look back later on. But also I want to share my experience and see that you can be a conqueror. Oh yeah, I was talking about Oprah Winfrey, about a lot of people, like I hear women saying that they were in an abusive relationship, but hey, what up, baby? You want to say hi? But you can't say hi to the people. I told them next time we're gonna film together.
You got a mic?
I got a mic. I don't know if it's correct, but I got a little mic.
Your little monkey. What up, you little monkey? What up, baby?
What up? I told them we gonna film.
Yeah, we gonna do it. But when?
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta make a video together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what it is. Y'all know who I be. Nah, but how's it going?
It's good. I'm gonna finish it up and then I'm about to cook.
Yeah, I'm gonna clean the garden a little bit, you know, because it's getting kind of hurry. So I'm gonna fix that. And my wife is gonna cook. Yeah. I got the baby outside too, though.
That's good.
Holla.
Holla back. So yeah, so I hope you heard me because this mic, but anywho's, so it can happen. We all have been scorned in love. My husband also had his fair share, but he, you know, remained hopeful, and he remained, yeah, hopeful. And he's like, there's somebody out there for me. And look at us now, over 10 years later. And I'm so proud of us because where we came from and where we are now is amazing. That's why I say don't judge people. The people who really want to, they really want to work hard and grow and be their best. And we are really a testament of that. You know, he was a player. He was, you know, not being too attached to women and just, you know, what men do when they are younger. And look at him now, being married, having 5 children. Basically, we have 4, but he has a child before he met me. But he's here, he's present, he's working, he's being a traditional husband, paying all the bills. You know, he's doing it, and I'm proud of him. And as a black man, we need that representation, that, you know, you have black men out here and even other races that are doing it and that are leading by example. And, you know, I know it's hard. He's also seeing social media. Everybody is being influenced by social media, but he's doing it and he's showing up every day. So it's possible, ladies. It's possible. And when it's the right time, the person for you will come to you. You cannot force it. You cannot fight it. I didn't force nothing. I didn't fight it. I just started working, and I'm like, if a man comes, when the right one comes, he will come. And I was busy doing my own thing, and all of a sudden he came, and I couldn't even see it that he was the one. I felt it, but I couldn't see it, so I sabotaged myself. And a year and some, he came back, and ever since we are together. So yeah. So it's a different video today. I hope you liked it. If you did, you already know what I'm going to say. If you are a returning viewer, the best things in life are free. So give me something money can't buy, and that's a like and a subscribe. And yeah, I will see you in another video. I'm proud of myself. This is vlog number, is it 5 or is it 6? I don't even know. But I'm going. This train is moving, so I'm proud of myself because I told myself so many things before buying the camera. I'm going to buy the camera, but I don't have the time to film. Okay, but I do have the time to film, but I don't have the time to edit. So I was looking at, I think it's Fiverr. I'm going to give myself an editor, and I'm going to pay the editor to edit my videos because I really don't have the time to edit. And then I was like, do I want somebody else to edit my videos? Knowing it's personal, it's about family, it's very intimate. Do I want somebody else to hand over, you know, footage of my children like that? No, I do not. So I'm gonna edit myself. But I had so many things, and now to see myself finally a few months later, and I'm doing it and I'm editing, I'm like, I'm so proud of myself. And I started editing years ago, meaning like years ago I was editing all my videos myself, but I got so stuck in my mind and all the work I did over 10 years ago that now I'm just using it. I didn't have to learn how to edit. I remember, and then once I opened, you know, my editing program, I was like, I know how this works. So nothing goes to waste. Nothing. Everything you did or are doing is for the future. So in 2013 I started filming, or 14, and I stopped in 2015. And then my husband and I started making videos, but he was doing all the editing, and he didn't know any editing back in the day. I taught him how to do it, and by himself he was learning, he was trying, he was getting it, and then he started editing our footage. And now I'm doing it by myself. So I'm just amazed, and I'm just so curious where this is about to go. I have no idea. I just started it, and I don't know where this is heading, but I'm happy and I'm grateful that I'm doing it. And it's like a family thing. The children are really also involved, especially Cammy. All the times like, you gotta film, and Mom, I have an idea, you know what you can do? We can do like a morning routine, how you gonna get me ready for school when I wake up. And you know, she comes with ideas. She's really into this vlogging, and it's just nice to see that you can do it with your family and make memories, and you know, to see the characters or their personalities. And she is really the tech one. She's tech savvy, and she's busy with her tablet, and she's filming, and she's now making her own little vlogs, and tells me, Mom, I should have my own channel, and you should upload the videos on my channel. Like, what you know about channel? So she's really that. And Amalia is really the entertaining one. She just wants to act, you know, she wants to act on camera. She wants to share her, you know, silliness. So it's so nice to see all this, and I'm just so grateful that I made the decision to be with this man and not to be with the previous 2 men I was with in relationship. And you know, to be honest, they made a mess out of their lives, from, you know, they still not get it together with women. So to see, and I think they now realize they had a good thing, but they couldn't appreciate it. And now you see that good thing has moved on. She has a family and she's still with her husband and she's thriving, where you are in a divorce. The other one, his ex-girlfriend, doesn't want anything to do with him. She took away the child because he was so abusive. So, you know, life will teach you who was the one with the biggest problem and who didn't work on themselves. And I did work on myself. I did the work, and you can see that I'm growing, I'm moving, and it makes me so happy that I'm free and, you know, I'm being loved in the right way. This is the best husband, the best. God has given me the best. It's amazing, and the best children. So I'm just grateful. I'm just so grateful. And every day is just a blessing to be with these people that we have created together. And yeah, so that's why I do what I do. I'm so grateful that I don't have to work and really soak it all in. Today I cleaned, but I also just watched Dreamgirls with my son and my baby girl, and just, you know, share that experience with them. And, you know, I can just be present with my children because I don't have to go to a job, and it's the biggest gift. It's such a joyous occasion every day, knowing that, okay, I don't have to go to a job. I'm home with my children. If I don't feel like cleaning or cooking, I'm just gonna hang out with them, just make memories. We can walk outside. I can hug them. I can, you know, walk with them to the park. It's just, I love it. I just love it. I just love my life. And it's so much more meaningful than having, you know, a big bank account or having a nice car, but you're just not happy because this is not really what you want. I'm really living my dream. This is what I wanted, and I got what I wanted because I fought for it. I believed in it. I protected it. I didn't give it away. I didn't give it to my first boyfriend to destroy my vision about marriage, about men, about, you know, a family. I just kept it protected, and I'm now sharing it with you, and you're just seeing me. And this is just part one. There will be probably Q&As in the future when there are more people watching me, and I will be probably sharing more things about myself and my husband and how we do things, and, you know, and I'm just happy. So if you want to know how what type of products I used on my face, always look in the description down below. I will share it. It's always going to be the same, but, you know, just know if you're interested in the lips, what type of oral care I use, because my teeth are looking white, you know, just look in the link below. Follow me on Instagram. I am Lady Debi. Also on TikTok is I am Lady Debi. I'm not active on it as of right now, but I will be active on it. I'm just figuring out what do I want to share on there. I don't really want to talk. I just want maybe just only do makeup and food, but I don't know. But when there's summer holidays, I will figure out what I want to do on there and get it going. Also, I am on Substack. I don't really know what my Substack name is, but I will put it down below. On Substack, I just want to share my thoughts, want to share recipes, you know, food. So look out for that. And yeah, I'm gonna move on and cook and get my baby boy out of the bed, and I will see you on Sunday. Yay! So love you, thank you for your time, and I will see you on Sunday.